As an introduction section, I wanted to take you directly to the market charts, but let's spend a few minutes on some basic introduction because this is material that you will have to know. So this is how a Japanese candlestick chart looks like. Now, for those of you who are already into trading, you might understand what this means. But for those of you who are looking at this for the first time, this might seem a bit overwhelming. However, this is how a Japanese candlestick chart looks like. It's a daily chart of Nifty 50. What that means is that each candle here, these are candles, each candle here represents 1 day's worth of price action. So it's a daily time frame chart, and it is Nifty 50, which represents top 50 stocks in India. So as you can see here, on the y-axis you have the price and on the x-axis you have the timeline. So you can see here like 12,000 was the index level in June. So from June till the first week of August, this is around first week of August, the price is now below 11,000. So the price has come from starting June till first week of August, the price has fallen from 12,000 to less than 11,000. That is what this chart is representing. For now, this is what you need to understand. Okay, we will come back to analyzing each candle type and what it means. So do not get overwhelmed by this if you are new to trading. Okay, the question is, why use Japanese candlesticks? So a couple of slides on this. It's a tool used worldwide by traders, professional traders. I had taken coaching from Mr. Andrew Mitchum. He is from New Zealand, and he is also using Japanese candlesticks. I have taken training from Steve Nissen from US. He is a Japanese candlesticks trading expert, one of the best trainers on Japanese candlesticks in the world. So all professional traders are using Japanese candlesticks today because they're easy to understand. It's not very complicated. It's just open price, high price, low price, and the closing price. We will look into that in detail. Okay, it is very powerful in market diagnosis. So there are certain candle patterns which I can look at, and I can know from those patterns who is in charge of the market. The bulls or the bears or nobody is in charge of the market. So it is like an X-ray of the market. So it is very good for diagnosis of what is happening in the market. Just by looking at the chart, I can say what is going on. Looks at market psychology. Japanese candlesticks is probably the oldest science which takes into account the market psychology. So looking at candlesticks, you can understand what the psychology of the market, what is the emotion, whether fear is a more powerful emotion or greed is more powerful emotion. That is what you can understand when you are able to analyze Japanese candlesticks. Japanese candlesticks is all about analyzing price action. So every candlestick represents the movement of price. So the different shapes of candles helps us analyze where the price is going to go next, or at least what is the probability that the price will go up, or what is the probability or that the price will go down, or what is the probability that the price will remain flat. The Japanese candlesticks are best at spotting reversals. In fact, Japanese candlesticks are even better than Western indicators in helping us spot reversals. Now, for those of you who are very new to trading, who do not understand Western indicators at all, don't worry, we will go into that. But our main focus in this course is going to be Japanese candlesticks. Yeah, that's the basics of trading, that is the basics of price action. And it is refined by generations of use. Now, the Japanese candlesticks were invented more than 200 years ago. So, generations have been using Japanese candlesticks and they have been refined. Each pattern has been analyzed in detail and they have been refined by a lot of use. So we have now the material which can help us correctly identify what is the market situation and what should we be doing next. Which is why it is helpful in giving us very powerful buy and sell signals. As mentioned before, it is easy to understand, simple to use, nothing complicated. Universally applicable means Japanese candlesticks can be used for stocks, commodities, currencies. They can also be used for different instruments like futures, options, cash market, spot market. Don't worry if you don't understand these technical terms. We will look into that later in the course. So Japanese candlesticks can be used for different asset classes like stocks, commodities, currencies, different instruments, even different time frames. So we looked at a daily chart. We can also have the same chart plotted as a monthly chart. Even that will have candles, but that candle will represent 1 month worth of price action. As discussed, it is used by all professionals. There is a difference between professional traders and amateur traders. Professional traders understand and predefine their risk before they enter the market. And it has a long history of 2 centuries. They are proven and time-tested. And most importantly, it helps us build confidence because trading is a game of psychology and probability. So we never know, even if we have the most ideal situation or an ideal Japanese candlestick pattern, we can still go wrong because the markets are unpredictable. But the patterns give us or increases the odds that the trade will go in our favor. So that is why it helps us build confidence, reduce our fear when we are trading the markets, okay? Because they are defined by generations of use and they are more than 2 centuries old. So this is basic ancient knowledge which we need to keep into account and take advantage of, okay? Right, so now let us look at who invented Japanese candlesticks. So back in 1724, Mr. Munehisa Homma was born in Japan, and it was he who invented the concept of Japanese candlesticks. That is why they call him the father of Japanese candlesticks charts. In 1755, merely at the age of 31, he wrote this book called The Fountain of Gold, the 3-monkey record of money. Of course in Japanese. But this was the world's first book on market psychology. He spoke about the yin and the yang. The yin represents a bear market, the yang represents a bull market. So the market is always going up and down. So the yin and yang was mentioned here. And he was a very famous rice trader in Japan because in those days the rice was used as currency in Japan. They used to have these rice coupons which could be used as money. So he was into trading of rice, and that is the reason why we say that the candlesticks have a history and a pedigree. In the previous video, we looked at how candlesticks are more than 2 centuries old. This is the reason why Mr. Munehisa Homma was using this more than 200 years ago. And they have a pedigree, they are proven and time-tested. He was the world's most successful price action trader. There is some record in history which says that he got more than 66 trades right consecutively. More than 66 consecutive trades. He got them right in one go. So that is something in the world of trading which is unheard of. So that shows us the prowess with which Mr. Munehisa Homma understood the markets. That's why they called him the god of markets. That's why they call him the god of the markets. And he was an expert on understanding the market psychology. So there is a long history. We will not go into details. Just understand that he was the one who invented the Japanese candlesticks, and it took more than 2 centuries for this knowledge. They call it the secrets of the Orient, for this knowledge to come to the Western world. And in the next video, we will look at who brought that knowledge to the Western world. Okay? Now let us look at who popularized Japanese candlesticks worldwide. So Steve Nissen is my coach. I understood Japanese candlesticks because of Steve Nissen. I started reading his book, Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques, and this is where my journey in Japanese candlestick charting techniques began. Steve Nissen is called the father of modern Japanese candlesticks charting because he modernized or popularized the Japanese candlesticks and brought it to the Western world back in 1989. So we mentioned that Japanese candlesticks are more than 2 centuries old, but it took a very long time for this knowledge to come to the Western world, and Steve Nissen is the one who is responsible for getting that knowledge to the Western world. Now, most professional traders across the globe are using Japanese candlestick charting techniques along with Western indicators, of course. So Japanese candlesticks represent market understanding from the East, and Western technicals represent the trading knowledge from the West. So it's the combination of both the Western and the Eastern knowledge that gives us very good trading signals, which is what we are going to learn. So he is the author of the bestseller Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques. Please read that book. It is available on Amazon. This is the best book I would recommend for anyone who is serious about learning how to trade professionally and profitably. It has sold over hundreds of thousands of copies all across the world. So it's a very popular book. Any serious trader has read that book. And I myself read this book multiple times. I keep it as a reference book. So if there is any pattern that I do not understand, I go back and look at this book. So for me, this book is like a trading Bible as it is for many other professionals. Steve Nissen is my coach. As I mentioned before, I started with reading this book. Then I went into more details. I looked at his YouTube videos. I subscribed to his educational resources, video courses online, and I took training from him. So now I am a Nissen certified advanced Japanese candlesticks expert because of Steve Nissen. I understand advanced Japanese candlesticks because he's such a great trainer on Japanese candlesticks trading. Steve also says that people know candlesticks, but they don't know how to use them correctly. This is where the value of real education comes in. Now, anybody can look at a candlestick pattern and say, okay, that is a pattern, but how do you use that pattern? That is where the value of real education comes in. Just because you see a candlestick pattern does not mean that you take the trade. And we will look at this with multiple examples in this course, okay? So understand that Muneza Homma was the one who first invented candlesticks more than 200 years ago, and Steve Nissen was the one who popularized that concept into the Western world. He spent countless hours and countless dollars on researching this. So understand that Japanese candlesticks is very deep knowledge. Although they look simple, but we have to go into details to understand the patterns, and we can get great insights on the market using these techniques. So get that book. It will help you. Okay? Right. Let's quickly run through what are the benefits of Japanese candlesticks. So first is it is helpful in spotting market reversals. That is what we want to know. If the market is going up, when it is going to come down, that is what we want to know so that we can take a short position. Or if the market is going down, we need to know when is it likely to go up. So we need market reversals for which we can take the help of Japanese candlesticks. Cut losses short in a sense. If the market does not go in the direction that we anticipate, we should be able to cut our losses short. We should not be multiplying our losses. So candlesticks give us the exact levels at which we should be out of the market. So candlesticks can also help us multiply profits. So once the trade starts to go in our favor, candlesticks help us in knowing till how long should we remain in that trade. So if we have a pattern which says that the market is going to go against our position, then we can immediately exit the trade, thereby multiplying or maximizing or optimizing our profits, which means it helps us ride the market trend. It will also help us avoid bad trades. We need to know which are the trades we should take, which other trades we should not take. And the second part is most important. We should be able to identify where we should not pull the trigger. Okay? Book profits early is similar as this. We can book profits before the market goes against us. And it gives us precise market entry. Even when we look at Japanese candlesticks charts, I can show you exactly where to enter, exactly where to keep the stop loss, exactly what target to aim at. And these are exact prices given by Japanese candlesticks. So it's a precise science, precise entry, precise exit. As we mentioned before, it helps us understand the psychology of bulls and bears in the market. It helps us understand who is in control of the market right now. So if the bulls are in control, I take a long position, I buy and I ride the trend. And it helps simplify trading analysis because we don't want too many zigzag indicators on the market. We just want to look at the price and understand where the market is likely to go. It reduces fear, increases our confidence. It helps us determine exact entry, exit and stop loss levels. And as I mentioned, the universality of candlestick patterns, we can trade any instrument like cash, futures, options. Again, we can use any time frame, monthly, daily, weekly, hourly, 10-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 1-minute chart. We can use candlesticks everywhere. So it's universal. It helps us reduce the risk. It shows us exactly how much our risk is. So we know before even taking the trade, we know how much risk we are taking and how much we can handle psychologically. It increases our trading success rate. This is important to understand because if my success rate is already 50%, so if I'm getting 5 out of 10 trades right already, then with the advanced use of Japanese candlesticks, I can increase my trading success rate from say 50% to 60% or 70% or even more than that. So that is what is the benefit of the Japanese candlesticks. It will help us already increase our trading success rate as well. Okay? So those are the benefits of Japanese candlesticks. And this is the reason why we should go into details and try to understand how we can use Japanese candlesticks to our advantage. So in this course, we will start analyzing charts in detail and you will understand how easy it is to learn this. It is not rocket science. It is a very old science and it is proven and time tested. So let's get into the charts and the candles and understanding the markets. Okay?